Konnichiwa, Ian des. Let's learn some English. So today we're looking at British food. I'm just going to look at some of the food that is from here. We eat Italian food, Japanese food, American food, Italian, French. But we'll just look at some very British things that people around the country eat every day. So we'll start with breakfast. And a common breakfast is porridge, sometimes called oatmeal, but it's porridge. It's very delicious. I like to have this. There it is with some banana. And usually people have it with fruit or honey. And it's very good for you, so eat your porridge. A very traditional breakfast is a cooked breakfast, which we call a fried breakfast. This is very, very filling. It's very good. And usually sausage and bacon, fried eggs, that is black pudding, which is blood sausage. It sounds disgusting, but it's the best. That's some kind of potato cake. And then you have tomatoes and mushrooms, and usually beans. And you can get this all over the country, different cafes, restaurants. It's very common. See here they've got hash browns instead of the potato cakes. And of course, toast. Sometimes it's fried bread. So really this is quite unhealthy. It's bad for the heart, but if you are doing a full day's work, this is a good breakfast. Sometimes they make them really big. That's not normal. Some people just like to have eggs, and this is a common way. So it's a boiled egg, and then you put toast in it. And we call these toasts soldiers, because they're like a line of soldiers going into the egg. That's what we call it. This is a very nice little breakfast. And of course we eat cereal with the milk. So things like cornflakes, Frosties, lots of sugar. None of this stuff it's bad for you. But it's easy and delicious. We also like to drink tea and coffee. We drink this throughout the day, but everyone has one or the other at breakfast. What one do you like? And do you have any of these breakfasts? Maybe cereal? I think Japanese breakfast is very different. And then for lunch, we like to have sandwiches. They're probably one of the most common lunches. Everybody likes a sandwich. And in our supermarkets and convenience stores, we have something called a meal deal. So see here, meal deal. And it's just the best thing ever. You get a sandwich, a drink, and some crisps. And it's quite cheap, and this is lots and lots of people have this for lunch. So crisps, sandwich, drink. And you can pick all different combinations. So you see you've got a lot to pick from. I had these a lot of times. I would pick Coke, cheese sandwich, and crisps. Salt and vinegar crisps. Another lunch is beans on toast. You can't have this for breakfast. I think that's why I got confused there. We get laughed at for this because it looks like prison food, but it's delicious. So it's beans and like a tomato sauce. Comes in a tin like this. Put it on toast. Takes 2 minutes to make. And of course, put cheese on to make it even better. Very simple, very delicious. You can add an egg, so you can see how that's getting very close to the breakfast. Where it's got the eggs, the toast, the beans. So you can have beans on toast for breakfast or lunch. And then a very English food is a pasty. It's made of pastry and inside is meat and vegetables. You hold it in your hand and just eat it like a sandwich. I guess it's like the we call those gozas. So it's a bit like a gyoza, but you hold it in your hand and the outside is a bit different. Similar idea. We also have sausage rolls, which is a sausage wrapped in pastry. So it's kind of like this, but just a sausage inside. And then we have more pastries. We have pies. So these is pork pastry. It's pretty much like this, just a different shape. You can see this one's got meat and egg. You can get all different flavours, so there's pork, beef. I can't even think, there's all different flavours, chicken. It's very good. And then we have scotched eggs, which is a boiled egg, and it gets wrapped in meat and breadcrumbs and deep fried, and it's very good. So you can eat it hot, or you can let it cool down and eat it later, so very nice. So here they made it where it's runny inside, or you can have it hard. Both very, very good. And then we also have baked potato, sometimes called a jacket potato. These are very popular for lunch and dinner. So you get a big potato, you bake it in the oven for an hour till it goes soft. But the important thing is the things you put on top. So you can have beans, cheese, tuna. This looks like bacon and onion. All sorts of flavours can be put on top. So here's one with beans. And this one is beans and cheese. So we seem to eat a lot of beans, but beans are a lot of beans do get eaten here. Beans are good. And then we'll move on to dinner. Well, some of these you can have for lunch or dinner, but probably the most famous, fish and chips. Have you had fish and chips? So these are the chips, the potato, and this is the fish. So it's a bit like tempura, but the batter is a little thicker. It's very, very good. And here it's served with mushy peas. So there's peas that are mushed. And this is tartar sauce. And then you put your salt and your vinegar. Sometimes you get a lemon to squeeze over the top. Very, very good. If you can, eat fish and chips. But we also have this, more beans. These are oven chips, so they're a bit skinny, they're not thick. Fish and chip shop chips are really thick. But these oven ones are skinny And these are fish fingers. So it's a little bit like fish and chips, but it's the homemade version. It's fish fingers, beans and chips. So you can have beans for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Or just a snack. Beans all day long. And then on Sunday we have roast chicken. So this is the chicken, you roast it with some vegetables. You might have roast potatoes, roasted carrots, peas and gravy. So that's a roast dinner, a chicken roast dinner. Roast potatoes. It's very, very tasty. But if you don't want chicken, you can have beef. So again, you got potatoes. These are Yorkshire puddings, which are very unique. It's basically pancake batter in the oven that makes a little crispy cake. So here's the Yorkshire pudding. Here's the beef. Yeah, you can see it here, the beef. It's still a bit pink. Put the gravy on, get the Yorkshire pudding. Delicious. That's a good meal. Now, the Yorkshire pudding, the batter, the pancake batter, you can make this dish, which is called toad in the hole. I don't know why it's called that, but it's sausage and Yorkshire pudding. So it's basically a massive Yorkshire pudding with sausage in it. This is really good. You'd have this with mashed potato and gravy, peas, and then you're onto a real winner. So here's exactly that. Got the mashed potato, you got the peas, you got the toad in the hole. I guess the sausage looks like it's a toad hiding in the hole. I don't know where it comes from, the name, but it's very, very good. Classic British. Sorry, let me jump in here. I forgot to mention that you can have just the sausage on their own. It doesn't always have to be toad in the hole. So you have just sausage and potatoes, but we call that bangers and mash. Obviously, mashed potato makes sense, and the bangers is from the sausage when they used to cook in the frying pan. The fat would burst out and it would pop, make a bang. So bangers and mash. And as you can see, it's with peas. But of course, like everything, you can have it with beans. So sausage, potato, beans, bangers and mash with beans. So that's a common meal. People will have this more than the toad in the hole. Toad in the hole. Some people have that, but it's easier to make this. So don't forget that. Another classic is shepherd's pie, which is a layer of beef, or it can be lamb, and then mashed potato on top. So you can see there's the beef. Usually there's things like carrots and peas and onion, and on top is the potato, and they cook it so the top goes a bit brown, crispy. Sometimes you put cheese on top. It's very, very good. There's two names. There's shepherd's pie and cottage pie. A shepherd's pie has lamb, because a shepherd looks after sheep, and sheep is lamb, or lamb is sheep. And then a cottage pie is beef. But you'll hear the name used either or. People get it wrong, it's okay. And you can use whatever you like, beef or lamb. It's really good. And then if you live around here, you might have Irish stew, which is, I suppose it's our version of a Japanese curry. No spice though, it's this sort of, sometimes they use Guinness. There's bits of beef or lamb, carrots, potatoes, turnip, it's different vegetables. It's really good. It's a good winter, keeps you warm and full. Now the English version of this is a little different. They call it a hot pot, especially from north of England in an area called Lancashire. And they make it like this. So inside is the beef, the carrots, the onions, the peas, and on the top, so you got all the meat, and on top they put the potato like this. Looks very nice. So it's kind of like a stew with potato on top. And it is delicious. It's almost like a shepherd's pie, but the beef is a bit different. Usually this is sort of ground up beef, and this is big lumps. And the stew as well, you can see there's a big lump there. So it's similar ingredients, just a bit different. That's some of the common dinners. Of course there's desserts. A really good one is sticky toffee pudding. So it's kind of like a little cake, but it's very sweet with toffee flavours. Usually I'd have it with ice cream or custard. So this is delicious. And of course we have normal cake. There's so many types of cake. You know, chocolate cake, vanilla cake. Just simple, plain cake. We like cake. We also have crumble, which is kind of like a pie. There's a layer of fruit. So here it looks like berries. You can have apple, rhubarb, really anything. And then you crumble the topping on and bake it. I think the topping is butter and flour mixed together. It makes this like crumbly mixture. And it's really good. You have it with ice cream and it's fantastic. We also have custard, which is like a yellow sauce. But it's sweet. It's made out of, well, I'm going to tell you, it's made out of eggs, so it doesn't sound very nice, but yeah, it's really good. And you put it on everything. Put it on cakes, put it on crumble. So here's a blackberry crumble with custard in the middle. You have with, let's say, cake and custard. Sticky toffee pudding with custard would be very good. Yeah, I like it. So, that's some British food. Have you had any of those? Which one's your favourite? Have you been to the UK and eaten any of these? I would recommend fish and chips. Can't go wrong with that. And then if you're feeling hungry, breakfast. Have a fried breakfast. So, hopefully that was helpful. Watch that a few times. Get used to all the words. If you want more lessons, more vocabulary, questions, word sheets, vocabulary, all on the website. It's all free. Just sign up. Arigato. Matane.